At this particular moment, we are so far already that we realize that we can move forward with the crankshaft number 19, generator number 19. That means that we are now in the phase of closing up this generator number 19 for a GEBE. We realized also that the crankshaft issues of generator number 16 is of such dimension that we can move forward with reparation, and we must not substitute it for a new crankshaft, so that is promising. Further, we had participated that we are receiving the 20 megawatt generators, the 20 generators of 20 feet each of them, and the planning was to receive one today, the 2nd of October, and further the 20 generators would arrive today. But this morning I had contact with the director of GEBE, Mr. Washington, and he informed me that there is some delay in arrival of these containers, but as he is estimating, it's a delay of days and not weeks or months, so that's okay. Secondly, the second container session that is arriving to St. Martin is 5 40-feet containers, and in these containers we have the transformers, the cabinets, the cables, the pipes, and the fittings. These are those that are going to arrive on the 7th of October. And the third session, it was in 3 sessions that they would arrive, is that on the 16th of October, the third batch is arriving. And in the third batch, we have the fuel tanks for the new 20 megawatt, 20 units generators. The good news in our planning, the bad news is that we have some day delays in the arrival of the first batch set that are compromises the 20 megawatt generators. The good that I was very worried for, but thank God unnecessary worried for, was that the transshipment port is not the United States of America, but it's Jamaica, and that means that we can avoid the strike that is taking place in the harbors on the east coast of the United States. Further, the infrastructure necessary to accommodate those 20 megawatt containers, the infrastructure is almost there. The retaining walls are being finalized this week. The only part is that the mini cabinet office that they have to install there, that is the last phase that they have to finalize. But in generally, all the concrete beams are placed already. The retaining walls are placed already. The fencing is placed already. So in principle, GEBE is ready to accommodate the 20 megawatt, 20 generators that we are expecting. Unfortunately, not today, but I think in a few days from now they will be here. And hopefully, still the idea is to see if we can commission those new generators in the first week of November, as we have always spoke about.
Reports that CGMA and CGMA and CMA, one of the world's leading ocean freight lines, which serves St. Martin, has rerouted its operation to Guadeloupe. I got the information just before my trip to Monaco at the head of the St. Martin delegation to a major conference, a major yachting conference, and decided to seize the opportunity to meet with representatives of the shipping company at their headquarters in Paris to discuss the latest development. The company took the decision to move its transshipment operations to Guadeloupe because our pier is not deep enough to accommodate the LNG-powered vessels it has to use in order to comply with the requirements of the International Maritime Organization, the IMO. This decision will affect wholesalers like Super U in Marigot, but much more than those in the south, here in the south of the island, who do not import that much or very little from Europe. Our talks laid the foundation for future collaboration between government of St. Martin as bunkering and even possible joint venture investments that would improve the capabilities of our port and thus enhance its position as a transshipment point for the Northeastern Caribbean. The dock strike in the U.S. As the CMA-CGMA announcement was not enough, news broke out on Monday of a potential crippling strike by dock workers in the U.S. Knowing that when they sneeze over there, we are prone to get contract pneumonia right here. So we immediately started talks with several food wholesalers to find out how the strike could affect St. Martin. I started one time yesterday. The almost unanimous response was that we're okay from the supermarkets. We're okay for now. This was because, according to them, the U.S. ports from where they ship their containers are not involved in the strike. So they reported that they have stock that could last up to 2 to 3 weeks and up to 2 months, some up to 2 months. So we're fine. Remember that our supermarkets as well, they prepare for hurricane. So we're kind of in the safe zone there. They all prepared for the hurricane season, so there's ample food. So we're nothing to really be concerned about. While this may be good news for some time, though, we are closely monitoring the situation to see if any changes can be, if there's any changes, and be ready to take whatever mitigation measures may be necessary. So reports in the U.S. indicate that the strike by some 45,000 workers, primarily across major ports in the East Coast and Gulf, will have devastating consequences for the wider U.S. economy. So thankfully, our wholesalers import goods from the West Palm Beach, Jacksonville, and Miami also, and it bring in products from South America as well, and Europe and other places. So the Miami port is one of the smallest areas that they import from. However, this government is keeping a close eye on the developments in the U.S., and because of its effects of the strike, it may be felt we could maybe see it have an effect on us at a later time. So this is something that can happen overnight, but we must rise to the challenge. And the hurricane, the pandemic, and now the strike continues to highlight our vulnerability when it comes to importing food, particularly fresh fruits and vegetables. So a complete paradigm shift is needed where we focus on developing and maintaining a fully functioning agriculture sector. This is our only chance to ensure food sustainability. And we all have a role to play, whether it's in schools, whether it's at home, and businesses to make it into a reality. Against this backdrop, the Caribbean Shipping Association, the 54th association's 54th annual general meeting conference of an exhibition kicks off this weekend right here in St. Martin at our port. This conference will cover crucial topics to present to the present and future of the shipping in the Caribbean. I also anticipate that the ongoing strike at several major U.S. ports will inevitably become the topic of discussion, for sure. So this presents an ideal opportunity for those in the St. Martin shipping industry to explore ways to lobby and find strategies to mitigate the impact of this strike. So St. Martin is actually fortunate to be hosting this event this weekend, right at the time of the strike.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
About 13 years ago, in 2011, I was hired by the tourist office to work on World Tourism Day. We sat together, I met Lisa Coffey for the first time, and a major 3-part project where we decided that we're going to engage the locals into tourism, everything tourism. 13 years ago, we had a walk for tourism, something I think we should reconsider to do again. We had a walk for tourism, and I think we had about 500 to 600 people at that walkathon. Then we also had, under the team, linking cultures, because that was the team then, 13 years ago, linking cultures. We had a cultural event on the boardwalk with all booths, with all different cultures in St. Martin, because that's who we are, a melting pot. And also at Great Bay Beach Hotel, we had our honoree event. 13 years later, I come full circle to think on culture. Where are we with culture? And that's one of the first pinnacle meetings I had with the tourist office, asking about who are we? How do we sell ourselves? And the disconnect between us and the children. So this time around, as Minister of Tourism, I was honored to sit with this time Ms. Wendy Duran and the team to come up with another 3-part event, but with a smaller budget because things were a little too rough for us this year. But we made it happen. Look how beautiful it is tonight. So, with Ms. Wendy Duran, we decided we're missing culture. We're missing who we are. We're going to work on that coming soon. But at the same time, we need to engage the youth and let the youth understand the importance of culture, of tourism. So this last week around this time, Ms. Wendy Duran took some kids on the Icon of the Sea. I heard they went for thirds, fourths, and fifths for the buffet. They enjoyed themselves. And they also went on the Winair flight and took a aerial tour for 15 minutes, I think 2 groups of kids. And many of them, some of them never been on a plane before. Most of them never been on a cruise ship before, but they get to understand what it means to be a tourist and how the tourist feels when they come to our island. And today, we're here to honor the pioneers, those that made tourism important for our country, those that helped hone our tourism product. And I want to say congratulations in advance to all 8 of you, and looking forward to next year's theme, which is tourism, sustainable transformation, sustainability. When I say full circle, is because if we're going to work hopefully with a new Minister of Education and Culture, Youth and Sports, with that minister that's coming along, we can come up with a new curriculum for kids so that they can learn in schools the importance of tourism, and that's sustainability. So we're looking forward to next year, and I thank everyone for being here.
Today, as we gather in beautiful St. Martin, I want us to reflect on the powerful relationship between tourism and peace. In a world of conflict and division, continue to disrupt lives and economies, those of us in tourism-dependent nations must be ready to navigate the consequences. Here in St. Martin, with over 130 nationalities coexisting peacefully, we stand as a perfect example of how tourism can unite people, foster understanding, and build harmony. I know we have a lot of work to do, but we cannot ignore that on this topic, we can actually show the world we are an example of tourism and peace. On World Tourism Day, we are reminded of the profound ways in which tourism transforms communities. Tourism is more than just a source of income. It's a bridge to opportunity. It creates jobs, fosters inclusion, and strengthens our local economy. More importantly, by valuing and preserving our culture and natural heritage, tourism can help reduce tension and nurture peaceful coexistence. Here on this island, our beautiful, friendly island, we witness how tourism promotes economic interdependence between neighbors, encouraging cooperation and peaceful development. When people from all over the world come together, there is a mutual exchange of values, ideas, and tradition. Every traveler who comes to St. Martin can be an ambassador of peace. They recognize our diversity and shared humanity, which are the values that unite us all. As we celebrate today, tourism every day actually, let us also celebrate our local pioneers, those who have paved the way in our tourism industry, creating opportunities for others and building a foundation for future growth. Their dedication and vision made St. Martin the vibrant, inclusive destination it is, once was, and will be again, and it is also now. That was a mouthful, right? Tourism broadens horizons, and in times of uncertainty, it reminds us of the world's potential for connection, peace, and progress. As we look to the future, let's continue working together to ensure that tourism only sustains our economy, not only sustains our economy, but also strengthens our sense of community and shared responsibility for peace.
She embodies hospitality. During her time directly in the industry, she not only created memories, but she also created a feeling of belonging to the island and a belonging to family. She did this not only with her guests, but also with her colleagues, with a total of over 50 years, I repeat that, 50 years in hospitality here on St. Martin. She has made her mark for over 3 generations of visitors to the island. Ladies and gentlemen, our first pioneer this evening, I want to give her a warm welcome, Mrs. Jerome V. Welcome, Ref. Our second pioneer this evening is none other than Mr. Keith Franca. Our next trailblazer was born on September 24, 1944, right here on St. Martin, and has been a trailblazer in the tourism sector, particularly in the maritime industry. He began his career as a captain for pleasure yachts, guiding visitors through the beautiful waters surrounding St. Martin. In 1984, he joined the St. Martin Port Authority, starting at a small facility right here in Phillipsburg. Over his 41-year career, he has witnessed and contributed to the significant transformation and growth of the port. His early work included serving as a liaison engineer between the port and construction company Ballestada during the period of expansion. His commitment and dedication to his role have been instrumental in ensuring the port's development and success. He's particularly proud of how the port is now attracting a younger generation and showing renewed interest in maintaining and enhancing its legacy. As he continues to contribute to the tourism industry, he embodies the spirit of resilience and dedication that has characterized St. Martin's growth in the hospitality sector. With a passion for his work that remains strong after decades of service, he is a vital part of St. Martin's tourism story, inspiring others to cherish and advance the island's rich maritime heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, our next pioneer, Mr. Lucien Deher.
you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, yeah, your social health insurances.
The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Terence McKeodro, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, National Security and Immigration, Health and Social Security of St. Kitts and Nevis.
In the Caribbean, our lived reality of rising tides, washing away our hopes of unforgiving heat, setting ablaze our dreams. We pray for rain and receive the floods, dragging our homes and our futures to the abyss. When the guns flood our communities, tearing children from their mothers' arms, it is a collective cry for action. When the global south starves while food wastage continues unabated, we must be shaken from our complacency. The harsh truth is that the world is becoming mortally insecure. We stand on disappearing shores. We are besieged by storms, natural and man-made. Corporate greed, colonial arrogance, and unchecked consumerism have torn apart our social contract with each other. We are no longer at peace with nature. The greatest delusion we feed ourselves is that security and sustainability are separate endeavors. They are, in fact, intertwined. We cannot build secure nations while allowing the climate crisis to rob future generations of their birthright. Security is more than an absence of conflict. It is the presence of dignity, of justice, and hope. Generations ago, the labor movement in St. Kitts and Nevis paved the way for our people's emancipation, an emancipation built on the principles of social, economic, and human dignity. Today, I echo their call. We must do better. We must be better. Our ambitions must be grander, our visions clearer.
The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Edgar Leblanc Fils, President of the Presidential Council of the Transition of the Republic of Haiti. It is through this ongoing cooperation and adapted to our situation that Haiti is becoming stronger, more resilient, and will continue towards development and progress. I would like to greet here all Haitian compatriots throughout the world who, whilst being attached to their country of birth, are forced to seek out more favorable skies in order to make a living. Everyone recognizes that they're very hard workers, and I want to tell them, wherever they are, that the Presidential Council of Transition and the government is thinking of them whilst we await an improvement of conditions so that they can come back into the fold. I would also like to take this opportunity to greet Amnesty International and other organizations closely following up on the defense of human rights of Haitians and violations of these rights throughout the world. On behalf of the entire Haitian people, I would like to extend a brotherly greeting to all friends of Haiti that have shown solidarity towards the migrants from our country, and in particular those living in Springfield, Ohio in the United States. The long history of friendship and reciprocal solidarity between our two nations since our participation in the Battle of Savannah of 1779 have enabled us to say with confidence that the American people reject any incitement to hate against our community. The active participation of Haitian immigrants at various levels of life in the United States is tangible and significant. In this regard, the passions that naturally arise during an election campaign should never serve as a pretext for xenophobia or racism in a country such as the United States, a country forged by immigrants from all countries and which has become a model of democracy for the world.
The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago in the fall of 2022, I proposed a comprehensive strategy to end the war and to ensure security, and I presented the peace formula at a highly inclusive political platform for world leaders, the G20 summit in Indonesia, representing billions of citizens from all parts of the globe. And it's important for us that all these people can understand us, understand that Ukraine wants to end this war more than anyone in the world. War always poses a threat to many. You all see in the media and read in reports what is happening in Ukraine because of Russia's war. It's something many are imagining happening to themselves. And yes, the smoke from fires in war-torn cities can reach other countries. And if, God forbid, Russia causes a nuclear disaster at one of our nuclear power plants, radiation will not respect state borders. And unfortunately, various nations could feel the devastating effects. Many are concerned, but the deepest understanding of war is always found in the home it destroys.